Hey everyone, I'm Paul with MadCap Software. Continuing our series on sites in MadCap Central, this video we are going to focus on taking a site that you've already created in MadCap Central and making it live so that it is accessible to a wider audience than otherwise is possible. So let's go into Central and just walk through this. Now, in the previous video, I created this site right here from Mod3 Online Help. And if you expand it, I showed you, it's got this URL in here and I could click that and that would open up the output. However, this site I did not set as live. This one up above it is, and you can tell by because it's kind of got this little globe icon in here under the live column, and I don't have that in this one. So this URL actually is just accessible to other people on my license who have access to, who have permissions to see that project. It's really locked down. And you're going to see this URL change as I make this site live. Okay, so there are a few different ways to make a site live. I'm going to take you through these. One of them is you can just click this little series of dots here, that button, and toggle it live like that. And it's going to say, hey, are you sure people are going to see this? You go, yep, I'm good with it. Now I got the globe here. And not only that, but my URL has changed. So now it's out there, https fictionsoft1.mcoutputtest.com. Again, yours would say mcoutput.com. And then I got this auto-generated number in here, followed by default.htm. And that's because this is an HTML5 format. If I had generated, say, a PDF and made that live, it would be, whatever the output file is, .pdf. Okay, so this is live, and I can turn it back off by toggling again and saying, are you sure? And yes, I'm sure. Takes it off. So that's another way. You can also select the checkbox here, and then this button right here, you see the little globe there, so I can make it live. It does exactly the same thing. And all these methods can be repeated to remove it. So you're toggling it on and off. So those are two ways. Another way is to actually open that site dialog that we looked at in the first video when we created this. And you get to that with an existing site by just clicking on it in here. And it opens this up, and you got this set live option down here. So if I click that, so now it's enabled. But the other thing that happened that you can do here in the dialog that you can't do in those other using those other methods is you also have this field right here, include in search engines, and by default this is going to be selected. And so now when you make it live, people are out on the internet using Google or another search engine, and they are looking it up, and your site, your output will come up if the right if the search is correct, or the search is accurate to where it brings up your site is included in the search results, and they'll find it. So you might be wondering, well, why in the world would you ever want to deselect this thing? Okay, so the main reason why you might want to deselect it is, for example, if you have versioned software, which I do with MadCap Flare. Don't have it with Central. So Central is not versioned. So my output for that is just, whatever the latest is, it just replaces the old thing. But with, say, for example, Flare, you got, 2020, 2021, 2021 R2, and so on. And so these are all specific versions. Well, I might want only the latest version of mine to come up in search results. I don't want somebody searching and coming up with a really old version of the output that's 8 years old, finding that. So I might deselect it later on, come back into the dialog and deselect it. In this case, I'll just keep it selected, and I will click Save. All right. And so just sometimes you have to refresh it, and there it goes. It's in there, and there my URL has changed. And so this is out there right now for the whole world to see. Okay. And again, if you are generating something for the whole world to see, in that dialogue, I would point to a specific build rather than the latest, because yeah, if you're testing and doing all kinds of things in that project, then people are going to see, that's going to replace what came before. All right, so that simply is how you set one of your sites to live so that it is accessible to a wide audience. Now, in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about rolling back to an earlier version of output so that you can replace what you just set as live. And this is really handy when mistakes happen. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover in the next video.